Go. Cool. All right. Well, hello, everybody. Good evening. Good to see you. Tonight's casual night, as you can see, but at the same time, remember, like I told you folks, a lot of you out there in the YouTube land and Facebook land, is this. I'm not here to dress up to impress. There's times I dress up. This is the evening, so I'm going to relax a little bit. Also, it's like I said, you get the real us. We're not going to go ahead and try to fabricate who we're not, which means we're human like you. We have lives, we have going on. We have even one of my the tech guy Keith. He had some stuff going on in Florida, a storm going on. So some things happened in the period for him, and he's gonna use his corporate credit to get some items he needed for what he wanted to do to repair some things. So I'm just telling you, things happen, and we understand that in life. And most people based on what do you say? Based on if you go to YouTube, everyone always has this clean YouTube. You know, they brush it up, they trailer it in, or whatever they do. You might even hear the dogs bark when someone shows up at the house. That's kind of what happens when you're working at home. Even today, I was talking to an attorney online today, and we did a Zoom, and she was saying, "Hey, I have cats might go in front of the camera, this and that and everything." I said, "Don't worry, I have dogs here and everything else," because I'm always researching some things. And of course, as I talked to her and interviewed her, she says she really didn't want certain things published regarding, because I really research a lot of stuff, especially about attorneys, because a lot of people don't know. Because when they say, you know what, send your information to us, I have to because I asked them about their contracts. I said, your contract says whatever it says, that they can fire you or you can fire them. So in other words, like if you lied to them too much, they could fire you. Or if you they lie to you, then you can fire them. Or if they don't perform, you can fire them. And I said, well, how does that work? She said, well, you report that to the Bar Association. And I said, okay, great. And I paused for a minute. I said, okay, the Bar Association. Then I look, let's see. It was in Denver. So that's what I'm going to say, in Denver. I'm not going to give her name out. So anyways, I was talking to her. And then and you might ask, why is this important? Because you really want to know when you're dealing in corporate credit, what you're dealing with. And I asked her, okay, great. And then I said, what else if there was a complaint? She says, then you file it with the Bar Association. That was the second time. So then I said finally to her, I said, okay, great. I said, now, if I was going to file with the state, what's your state business license signed by the governor of the state? And she paused and she says, well, I said, well, what? That's a very deep hole when you start saying that. She started laughing and giggling. She goes, well, we don't have the governor sign the license. So it's just a bar license, right? You don't have a license to practice in the state, do you? And she goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. She goes back up. She goes, I have a bar license. But I said, you don't have a license like a real estate license, like a mortgage license, like a doctor's license, like a chiropractor's license, a dentist license, where it's signed by the state. So there's a complaint, you can go to the state. Well, it's under a different blah, blah, blah. So, but I said, the reason I'm asking this question, if I'm going to hire you, I want to know really if there's a complaint. I'm not just going to file to the bar, because right now I'm on the website and the bar says their corporation has been suspended for almost 5 years. So what that means, they're not even listed. They're not even in the legally in Colorado. Boy, she started squirming. She goes, well, what are you trying to find out? I said, well, hold on. So I like your skills, but I want to make sure, because I want to let you know that I know the scam. And she goes, scam? I said, because you're not licensed. And that's the thing with the state. She goes, but we're licensed with the bar. I said, but that's not like having a state license to practice law in that state. She goes, well, that's another subject. And I said, I know, but I just want to get that real clear, that I understand. And if I'm going to have you represent the corporations, or because I'm looking for an attorney for people when they sign up, because eventually you're going to want an attorney for your corporation that will have it's called work in progress. It's a work in progress, which means it's like $125 a year. So you can protect your books. So when someone comes and asks you, hey, I want to see your books, you can go, no, call my attorney first. And that's what we're looking for. So those are the things. And I want to let them know I know what the game is. And a lot of people are afraid of that. And even I had some conversations last night with my sister regarding some things. And I said, did you ask the attorney for the oh yeah, he showed me a bar license, showed me everything else. He's really good. And I said, I'm not doubting he's not good. I said, I just want to know, did you ask him? And a lot of people are afraid because the thing is, you really got to know the difference between the two. And when you do, you're going to find out how much power you have. When if you're going to be losing something or whatever it is, you have the power to go ahead and say some things and be later on. But I just want to let you guys understand that you eventually going to have someone to go ahead and say it's $125 a year, not right up front. After 2 years in business, you're going to end up probably needing it, but that's about it. Needing it means this: it gives you another protection. My whole thing is about protection, protection, protection. Because there's some things in my life where I slipped up, and I tell you, we teach you everything from the experience. And I've bitten off some things sometimes where I didn't have it in place, and that's how I learned. And I just pass it on down, and I'm really adamant about it for you folks, because here's the thing: you want to have the power to say, no, you can't look at my books. Why? Because you got to call my attorney. Now ask you why. Write this down. Because you can say this is a work in progress. Keyword: work in progress. Like I say, I'm not here to be your attorney. I'm not here to go ahead and be your financial counselor. I'm not here to go ahead and tell you what to do, but I'm giving you suggestions of what I've done and what I do on a daily basis. I'm always searching. I'm making phone calls, and I have some more stuff for you. And one of the people in here do have now the question and answers tonight. We're going to go ahead and we'll talk about this later. So, and I can go over some things where someone emailed me something regarding their DBA, which is awesome. And we'll go over that as well, so we can share that information so other people can win. And then on top of that, also there's someone else in here in the room today. I did submit the information that I was given to some lenders, and probably Friday they should be getting calls Friday, and then they'll know. So that's already been submitted. We'll talk about that in two as well a little bit later. All right. So I want to say again, welcome here, folks. Business credit for startups. Let me tell you what I mean by startup. Startup does not mean all the time beginning. You can have a business already rolling, but when you start maybe learning about divisions, that's a startup. But you still have your regular. So when I say business credit for startups, does not always mean a business that just started from scratch. You can have a business already. And I have several people that are ready to go ahead and create a division because they're getting cards, and that's going to go ahead and be an important thing for them. And then also I have some people that already have their businesses established, and they didn't realize they can go ahead and do divisions the way I've been talking about them. But that's like, for instance, the people that have paid for that particular course, or the master affiliates that we have as well. They get part of that so they can understand that for themselves. Now, eventually some people want to go ahead and venture off, but the thing is, when you venture off from the program, the thing is, this was always going. This is like going to college, folks. I just really want to let you know, this is going to school. Whether you went to school or not, they never taught this in school. They never tell you about the credit, what you can really do and develop. I don't care if you don't speak a lick of English. You still have the ability to go ahead and get the credit just like anybody else. In fact, if you're, what do they call it again? If you're, oh my God, what is it? Like if you're a woman or you have Hispanic or German background, whatever it is, I forgot what they call it. But the thing is, you have advantage. Women have an advantage because they're women over that, which is great. There's nothing wrong with it. But the thing is, I want to let you, so I forgot the word, but I'm just saying, everyone has an opportunity. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. So I just want to really let you know that what we're talking about for you is that whatever goes on, you can go ahead and make it. Now, see, the dogs are now barking, which is good. Now they left the room, so now they're out in the front room. So now they're out of the office. All right, cool. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is improving your fundability. Most people don't understand, even if if you want to understand, I'm not talking from a personal side. This is a business side. There's two different distinct animals. There's two distinct, they work opposite. This here, what I'm talking about is fundability on a business side. All right. One thing you want to make sure about setting up your business where it's fundable is some fundability factors may include. This is not a complete list. This is just to give you the basics so we can get you some of the basics. Right away, when you do your either incorporate or do the unincorporated way, or you do an LLC, there's three things I want you that you're going to go through and get right away, and that is your tax ID, your phone number. And I tell you, phone.com is a real good place to get an 800 number. It's really inexpensive. It's not an arm and a leg. It's really good. And then also I've told some of the other people about Inos, Inos, I believe.com. That's where you can go ahead and website. And I'm telling you, it is really good. $1 a month to go ahead and get a domain name.com, and then to go ahead and be able to get, I think it's $2 a month, whatever, if I'm correct, to go ahead and get a real simple, basic website that looks really good. So those are the things that we pass on to the people, whether you have money or not. The thing is, you've got to invest and get started in yourself. Here's one thing a lot of people run into. Even though I can talk about the fundability, it takes courage to go ahead and actually step out of your comfort box. What you think. There is a lot of people that actually do business and they use their money because they've been taught, let me use my credit. Why you want to use your personal credit? That personal credit is only for emergencies only. It really is, which means this, like when the coronavirus hit, some people got hit hard. It exposed how naked you were in the industry. Some of you that were starting businesses or had a business, some of you got hit. And all I can say is that it's crazy. Whoever was with companies that were teaching or helping you build your business, they never prepared you mentally. Hey, a storm's coming. I always talk about the storm. I'm not talking about doom and gloom and lions and tigers and bear. Oh my, I'm not talking about that nonsense. I'm talking about that you're a professional. Whether or not you just started, you're still a professional. And all we here is to consult you, coach you, because everyone has a coach. I have a coach. You guys have a coach. I have a coach that I go to and talk to regarding some things. And they say, they look at this, look at that, you know, and so on. One of the most beautiful things about this whole thing, that's why I'm always researching every day. I'm watching videos. I have some staff that send me here some links, listen to them. And there's some things, the information is inaccurate. In fact, one of the things that we talk about is the gas cards. And a lot of people don't understand the structure of gas cards. There's one, well, it's more than just one, but the one that actually will give you like almost anywhere between $2,000 and $6,000 right up front with no scores, reports to Dun and Brad and business experience. Think about that for a minute. That's a big deal because you get a card. You don't have to at least go. You can eliminate one of those 30-day nets that you don't that are nonsense. But you have to buy them to get something. So, but the thing is, this is now gas you can use for your business, use for traveling wherever you're going. Go when you go see somebody. It's actual write-off now, and it's a card you can use. You put in the thing, press in your pin or whatever you do, and there you go. You have some cards that work all over all of the gas stations, and they can go in and get oil changes, whatever it is. The also one thing about the card that I'm talking about is it allows you after 90 days, have to get a little history about you. They have it's $400 to $500. You can get a cash advance at their location in case you need it. Because there's times you probably need a couple $100 for whatever it might be. Because I forgot this, and you don't want to. It just gives you another access or avenue of $500, $400. But that's the beauty of having these cards and know how they work. And so again, the type of entity you have will make a difference. And also today, I had someone give me a call. No, I called them. There's just check to see how they were doing. And they also had a conversation with one of our staff members. And they were informed about, okay, you know what, instead of using, they were using a mom and pop P.O. box. But when you remember, some of you back when I told you in the very beginning, whenever you're going to do a mom and pop, Google the address and see what shows up. If a name shows up like a postal service office or something, no, you don't want that. You want it where it just shows up as the address and all these businesses in there. The mom and pops are usually the best, not the UPS box, not the United States Post Office, definitely not for sure. But if you want just a regular mailing box, PO box is okay. But you got to remember, they will check that to see if it's either a what they call it, brick and mortar, or it could be your home. It could be your apartment. You realize there's over 54. Wait, was it again? I think it was like 3 to 4 million people that are millionaires that work out of apartments. I was doing the research and some stuff like that, so I can share it with you. Can you imagine that? And people say, "Oh, I can't work out of my house." What do you mean you can't work out of your house? These guys are making $1 million a year. It doesn't matter. And you can get funding up to $50,000 working at home on each account. And there's many ways after that. Now, once you create a division, there's many things you can do with the division. All right. So the type of entity you have, the type of phone number you use, I highly suggest. Now, if you don't have the funds, that's why I said phone.com is about the least expensive out there that I have found. And I look for here and there. And it's like $12 a month or something like that versus 24 or 29 or 21. Even 21 was good, but now you're always going to find something cheaper. But what you want to remember is this. Once you get the phone number, the 800, you can always move it to anywhere you want, or it even allows you, I think you have 10 ports on the phone.com where you can forward a number to that number, and then you can tell it what it does. And so when it rings your phone, it'll go ahead and tell you who it's called from. And they have it's not really corny hold music, but it's Christmas songs, but not like the original songs. But right now it's Christmas songs. So the things and then you can give the extensions. So you can have up to 10 different companies on a 1-800 line, and you can have it listed on the same number separately because of the address. So that's just something to think about. And then eventually when you grow, you can break them apart and get, separate the 800 number if you wish. And you just remember, when you switch an 800 number, you've got to switch it with every lender that you have, with Dun & Brad, Business Experian, Equifax, and also I told you the other night, there was three other ones that Credit Safe, you got to change it with them. You got to get on LexisNexis and change it with them. All these places you got to get on there to change them. Also, another thing, for those of you out there haven't done it yet, get on LexisNexis and freeze the account. Freeze your account. This way, no one could actually check any information on you because of the fact of you freezing the account. And so it implies for a credit, they just can't go and see. Like, especially if you're going to argue on your personal side. If you're going to argue about a personal side in your credit, you say, no, I didn't do this. They can't go check to verify it. They don't go straight to the lender sometimes. They go check that stuff by a third party. LexisNexis, and there's another company they also do it with. And I'll get you that information later. I remember it, but it'll probably pop up when I start talking. So phone number is going to be important. Also, another thing, if your phone number is listed in certain directories, you can list them for free in a lot of areas. You can list them for free, or you can call your local area and pay I think it's $9.50 or $17.50 to go ahead and have them listed all over the state. Well, one-time fee. It's not all the time. You can Google free listing for your business. Okay, this is the stuff that you want to be able to do. Now all this stuff here that I'm talking about, there's another program that we have that we do all of it for you. And Keith, the tech guy, he doesn't really like that because there's so much. All of a sudden, you get 5 people who want to do it. It's a lot of work, but people don't. They're lazy, and that program there is almost $5,000 because it takes a lot to do a lot of every. This is simple. Then there's the cards. They even want us to get the tax ID number, do the Dun & Brad, do the listing form, get the phone number form. That is a $5,000 program. And then when they want us to do the division, that's $25,000. I won't mess around with that because that's $25,000 because there's so much to go ahead and do. But the simple stuff for people, it's not a problem. It's really inexpensive. It's not that much. You're talking maybe $97 to give them the information to do. We won't do it. We're not going to hold their hand. But if we want to hold their hand, our time's expensive. My technician's time's expensive because I call them sometimes, say, hey, I got to finish this up, but I need this. Hey, which one you want? Okay, take care of the customer. All right. So that's what I want to say about that. Also, the type of address you use for the business. Remember, the type of address. Do not worry if it's an apartment building. Don't worry if you live in a house. As long as you have an address that's a brick and mortar, it's okay. Just make sure when you Google it. Now, I Googled a lot of buildings today, and there's a lot of them out there, and you got to figure out your area. Google in your area for small and mom and pop PO box areas and type in their address, and you'll see it'll all of a sudden just show up. And we probably can do it on our when we have our, what's today, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, one of the next one of the trainings we have that we don't send out, we can do a Zoom, and I'll show you what I mean. And this is the stuff that you guys here have an opportunity to see, and even the people on YouTube and Facebook, we're letting them know this is what we have to offer as well. Those of you that have a personal credit building place, that you're building personal credit for them, or helping to go ahead and do the credit for them. Here's the thing: you could actually marry these two together in a program and design it for yourself, and also myself, or Keith, the marketer, as well. We could kind of go over and say, okay, here's what we can design a program just for you. Won't have nothing to do with the other areas, but that'll be just for your peeps. So I will never advertise it on YouTube, that in itself. But I just want to say to you affiliates out there, it's the same thing. We will design it for that particular product for you, and most affiliates will have the same thing, at least, because it'll be the same product. Some affiliates come up with a good product that way. Here's the thing: you're not. Some of you are new to this, new to even building, establishing corporate credit. You don't have to know everything. Just keep coming to the meetings. Go back and look at the YouTubes. Go back and, like tonight, I'll send this link to you, but keep looking at it. Take the notes. You're going to find out this is a lot of stuff that people don't even have. You can ask if you ever see anybody out there, ask yourself all this information. Is your phone number listed? What type of address is it? Google their address and see what it says. If they need a license, most places, depending if they need a license, then make sure they have the right license. Most places usually don't. The congruency of your records. This is the most important part. Call information. Google their business. Go to their website and see if their phone number matches what they gave you for their business. See what their website says. Does it have the website address they gave you? Is all the stuff there that they're talking about, did they give it to you? Did they go ahead and does it show correctly? Because the congruency is really important. In fact, I have one of our clients, straight up, $1,600, instant approval right in the Zoom, on Zoom. Now, no, hold on. It was $600 approval, and then it was Granger, I believe. Yeah, we went to Granger, and he didn't have his DUNS number. He wasn't ready. It was off the cuff. I said, you know what? Let's go here and try that. I don't know my stuff. I said, don't worry about it. Let's see what happens. We did it online, or we called them up. No, we called them up, and then I think, yeah, it was Granger. We called them up, and they took the company name, they did the address, zip code, and I believe the phone number, and then they asked for the person's name, and they gave it to them, and boom, they came back on the phone, no problem, $1,000 credit line. See, if your information is straight and correct, you always don't need your business done and Brad, because they'll have it. You just got to know what they pull from, or both. If it all matches up, you will definitely get credit a lot quicker. That's where most of the people make their biggest mistake. Also, another thing, most people are nervous about corporate credit. Let me tell you why. Is because they're not sure. It's something, if you don't know about, you just don't want to step out of the box. All I'm going to tell you is this: you can never transform what you will not confront. You will never transform what you will not confront. A lot of people out there want to get their business started, but they're still trapped in a box. They're trapped in a box. They're trapped in a little box. And I'm going to do a hand drawing for you guys. I didn't put it on the screen. They're going to be trapped in a box. This is what they're trapped in. This box like this. They're trapped in a box of thinking. This is how it goes. This is the only thing I know how to do. I'm going to use my cash credit, what I have saved up, and I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. All this other stuff. And guess what? They get paralyzed. They get paralyzed mentally. And even especially if some people, though, if the language is not clear, which means in the English part of it, this is one thing that we confronted that we've confronted in the Hispanic community, and we're looking to expand in that area because of the fact that is a very, very awesome area. Because man, there's some Hispanic that has some great businesses, but they keep using their cash over and over and over, and it's like a monkey wheel, a hamster being on the wheel. There you go, hamster being on a wheel. Why not? They need to be educated that the fact OPM, other people's money, which corporations are keep giving you money. In a personal side, they don't do that. But anyways, let's keep going. Let's see, type of address, a license, congruency of your record, which means everything matches up. When someone dials 411, goes on the internet, it all matches up. Also, you look at the screen, it says the type of references you have. When you have a card that's a reference, when you have a card that is a reference from a big company on a gas card, guess what? Guess what? They also will go ahead and they're reporting, and now you have a reference, not from a quill, not from what else? These little places that you get stuff from, Zumba or Zumba, and then Strategic. I'm not saying anything's wrong with them, but you know that's a reference. All right, and you may have a reference to $3,000. That's good. That's good. All right, but you have a card with they have like seven 1,600 locations all over the thing, and so many partners you can use a card at. The Zuma card, you can go anywhere they want in the country with it and use it. You can go buy yourself a sandwich at the gas station if you want. Get the old American hot dog from the gas station. It's about 4 days old, and put a little relish on it so it tastes good. I remember those days. Oh my God. Anyways, also the type of references you have. So we talked about that. Remember, your bank account is a reference. Your bank account is a reference. Now, whether your bank account is set up, that's one of the most important things. That's why I say the first three things: get your corporation, or get your LLC, or get your DBA if you have an LLC, or if you're not, don't have anything, just your non-incorporated way to do it. Again, call us regarding that. We'll go ahead and give you instructions how to do that. Remember, everything is this: debt follows tax ID, debt follows Dun and Brad, debt follows business experience, debt follows your social security number if you use it, and you're crazy, and it's like dumb diddy dumb if you're going to go ahead and use your social security number to go ahead and get the credit, unless someone is going to teach you and train you how to get yourself out of it. Those of you that are out there in the credit repair world or personal credit, and you encourage your person to go ahead and get the hybrid program, or the program you can go ahead and get anywhere from 30 to up to $150,000, either credit lines or credit cards, or the combination of both. You do your customer injustice if you don't let them know, hey, you're going to be the sitting duck. You're going to be like the British when they came over in the revolution, when they had that white thing across their chest and back that made an X spot right in the perfect target where to shoot them. You're doing them a disfavor. Let them know if you're going to do that, have them do that for their business. Let them know that the day they do that, take about 24 months to build that, so where they can get out of that mess, so the company can take over that particular card, or where a card will equal that amount of money, and they can just go ahead and pay that card off and just let it sit there and have that money over with the corporation. And there's ways to do it so you don't commingle anything. All right. Oh, by the way, the reason why I talk about that as well is because when I was talking to the attorney, I was going over some resolutions and everything else, and that's, even though I was paying for it, I just still, hey, I like I like knowing, I like getting attorneys all riled up, anyways. All right, so but that's the thing. There's a certain thing that you're going to do, paperwork you can get that will go ahead and protect you, and that's one of the things that we teach you as well. In the beginning, you might not have to do it so much. Usually within 24 months, you've got to have everything you structured in place, because then after that, if you start making $1 million a year, or even have $1 million in corporate credit, I don't know what it is. People seem to come out of the woodwork all of a sudden for crazy things. Crazy things. I have crazy stories to tell you, but I'll do it later. And okay, and then the way your website and email are set up. Also, number you will like your EIN, DUNS number, and BIN number. All I'm going to tell you is this: the EIN is the tax ID. The BIN number belongs to the tax ID, which Business Experience uses the BIN number. You can still use your tax ID when you're doing, but a BIN number says they recognize you now. That's all it says. Like Dun and Brad when they give you a number. All right. And then, like, even if you do the unincorporated way or a Dun and Brad, you can go ahead and go online, especially if you have an LLC, and do it online and get your Dun and Brad online without talking to anybody. But we'll show you how to go ahead and do that correctly before you get too far out in the branches. All right, cool. Now, oops, backwards, sorry. Now, one of the things about corporate credit blueprints, you can go ahead and we can help you build your credit with no personal credit checks or guarantees. Now, let me tell you what that means. No personal credit check means what it says based on certain items. But if your company is not set up, I have people, this is no kidding, I have people that have been in business for 17 years, no credit on there. What do you think the underwriter says when they see that? It's like a brand new company. It doesn't matter if you have 1,000 years. That's why I laugh. Hey, buy a seasoned company. You can go ahead and get this. Buy a 25 million year old company and you'll have corporate credit. Man, stop it. You guys trying to sell that junk to people and get them in trouble. They'll find out. You buy a company for $2,500, $3,500 just for age. You can't even take that tax ID over with it unless it's done properly, and it has to be done properly in a way. But a lot of people don't understand that. Now you can get it, but you've got to have the right documentation to do it. And a lot of them don't do that. That's what happened back in 2014 or 15. If you all remember the big fiasco with the bank in Nevada, and that's the only bank in Nevada that's in Nevada and no other state in the union that are corporations. And you remember the fiasco that the FBI had with the state attorney general. Think about this. What would you think about the FBI was surrounded the bank, and then the state, their troopers surrounded the FBI agent saying, you don't belong here because it's our bank. We can do what we wish. It's not FID assured, nothing like that. There's a big old fiasco over that because somebody was selling businesses and had the checking accounts all ready to go. And so they were worried that people were buying those and you couldn't see who they were. And they were possibly laundering money. Don't know if they were. But of course, somehow, some way, somebody probably made a story up or got wind of maybe they were. I don't know. But it was a huge fiasco. And it was on American greed. So you can look this up. I just don't remember. It's been a while. It's just like, wow, it blew my mind. So this is the stuff I'm talking about. If your business does not have the proper setup or the score, you might have to make a choice to guarantee it. But stuff I'm going to tell you, don't do it to get a score. There's too many companies out there. You can go ahead and get the score. Like for instance, you have Strategic. You can get it with Strategic. It costs you about $85 because you got to buy one program and another one is $10 a month after that. And then they report ever so often. And by the time you get done, you should have anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000 of line of credit with them in a period of, I think, about 6 months, which you want that high line. Then they have another company will do the same thing. So you have two lines of 3,000. There's another company out there that I haven't really told anyone about it yet. And it's not really out there. Some people have been talking about it, I believe. But here's the thing. There's a company out there right now that if you have a merchant account, listen to what I'm saying. Even if you're brand new and just started with the merchant account, and even if you don't have a score, you have to set up a merchant account with them. You can't use Square. You can't use PayPal. It has to be a merchant account, a live merchant account, because PayPal and Square, they're like a third party. They want the merchant account that's actually a real merchant account, not a third party merchant account. That's how Square works, PayPal, and a few other ones like that. But if you get a real merchant account, then what happens is this. You run all your business credit cards as much as, not all of you don't have to, run a few. And even if now they do a soft pull, if you don't understand what a soft pull is, it doesn't affect your credit at all. They do a soft pull on you and the business. If you have get a load of this. If you have a 301, credit score. You will get a line of credit for $500. And then as you go on and start using the merchant account, they'll go off the merchant account and raise it up for your business. Just think about that. A 301, a $500 credit line, and it reports on your business. It doesn't report on you. They just want to make sure, number one, you're real. And number two, you can't be below 300 or 301. And it goes up to $10,000 unsecured line of credit. Now, if you folks want that are out there in La La Land and YouTube land and Facebook land and let's see, LinkedIn land. What's the other one? We got Twitter land. What else we have out there? All the other companies out there. Y'all want this? Call it 614-349-8242. Or just email us at corporatecreditblueprints6@gmail.com if you wish. Or you can go info@corporatecreditblueprints.com. This is our first email when we got started, so I use it sometimes to just keep it active. But you can go ahead to info@corporatecreditblueprints.com, or you can call the office at 888-471-4252, extension 2001. That's between the hours of 9 a.m. Pacific time to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Or you can go ahead and call the 614-349-8242. You can call that from 9 a.m. Eastern time to 8 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll answer that phone at that time as well. So you can get a hold of us almost 24/7. All right. So the next thing is this. To build an unbeatable business credit starts with you're going to start eventually with seven vendors. 7 vendors are going to be really important. 7 vendors are going to be one of your most important things. Here's what we're looking to go ahead and establish for you, because this is what you really all are looking for. Let's cut the nonsense. Let's just get straight to the chase. You won't be able to pass this. You can go ahead and understand what vendor credit is, trade credit is, business credit is, and cash credit is. But in order to get to the cash credit, you've got to get past the first step. Even if you have $1 trillion, billion, you're still going to have to get a score. Now you can go ahead and buy a lot of what do you call it, secured cards, of course, and you'll have higher credit limits reporting, but you still got to wait for the score. Now, also another thing, it's your job, not ours. Now we're going to tell you it. Now, certain programs you'll help us. Well, if you have where we hold your hand program, we already know the days when they go ahead and report. So you're going to usually get the credit like 5 to 10 days before the report. And then as soon as you get it, you're going to pay it. So it reports. Now, also, we spelled apple wrong. We forgot the A. Okay. So got to get with my speller on that. All right. So one of the things you want to go is that here's what you're all really looking for. You're not looking to go ahead and really do your social security number if you don't have to. But I have one place, again, like I said, even if you have bad credit, they do a soft pull, but it still reports on your business. It doesn't report on you, which means the soft pull, they ask just, okay, they don't pull a hard inquiry. You can have a 301 and you're not personally guaranteeing it. Everything falls on the business unsecured line of credit. You understand what unsecured means? That no hook. Now, what you're all looking for is just the real basic stuff is this. It's to show your newly established credit profile. You can get approved eventually with Walmart, Amazon, Staples, Apple's, Lowe's, Ford, Best Buy, Visa, MasterCard, AMX, and more. These are the cards that you're all looking for, but you must build the top. Now, a lot of you say, well, I don't want to go through that. All I'm going to tell you is this. You can never transform what you'll not confront. You can never transform what you're not willing to confront. You've got to confront. It's going to take some work. There's no free ride, and there really is no free lunch. Now, if you want us to build it for you, cool. Pay us, and we'll do it for you. You already know what I said, what it costs. The reason why it's so high, I want you to learn to do it. So when the storm comes, you'll know what to do. Instead of calling us, oh my God, what do I do now? Well, that's why you paid us, got to pay us again. Now you don't know what to do. You've got to learn what to do. See, even the people that do this is why I laugh at that certain things. If you're going to have people take care of their personal credit, why not go ahead and repackage their life? See, that's what we want to do here. At Corporate Credit Blueprints, we want to repackage your whole life to where now you have personal credit that's stellar. You have your business credit that what you're going to use it on. Does business credit mean you have to have a business right now? Think about it for a minute, folks, before you even answer. No, you can still build business credit. So when the opportunities show, guess what? You're ready. You don't pull from the family and bring the pain home to the family. You don't want the family to have a knock on the door. Hey, you owe us 100 grand for your business. Well, oh, I'm a DBA. So it's under your social security number. Come on, folks out there in the world. These guys don't even tell you that's what's going to happen. You've got to begin to learn how to get yourself out of a mess. And I'm telling you, you'll never be broke with corporate credit. You'll never be broke. Corporate credit will never betray you. You will betray the credit of corporations. The corporate credit, you can get it. I'm going to tell you, I know for a fact you can get up to $42 million and some change. And you can lose $42 million of it and get $22 million back and then keep building. Another thing is this, what you want to begin to understand is if you start building now, you can go ahead. This is what, December, January, February, March. That's what, 90 days, April, that's 120 days. In 120 days, you can have several cards. And then your another 5th month, you'll probably have 5 to 8 cards reporting. Once we get you 8 cards reporting, then the cards will start rolling in that we were talking about. Also, another thing, we'll show you how to daisy chain those. So when you get a card on the company that is building the credit, you'll learn how to multiply it without applying for other credit. You'll learn how to do it. So you can go ahead and be able to do it. We coach you on this. We train you on this. And the thing is, but you've got to start from the beginning. Some of you that have companies already, some people call me and they say, well, I don't really think I need it. I'll give you an example. One guy called, I'll mark that down. Oh, one guy called on the 16th of last week. And we talked about it and he said, it sounds pretty good, but he goes, why do I need any more? I'm like, what? He had 1.5 million, and this is really in cash credit, not a whole lot of vendor. He had enough vendor reporting on the Dun & Brad, and then the tax ID. He had more because he had a lot of the cards and stuff. And I said, so let me ask you a question. All those cards, how many of those cards that you have? He had, was it 22? I think it was 22 cards that were cash, Visa, MasterCards, and American Express. And he had like 6 of the American different Express, the green card, the blue card, but he had almost all the American Express cards for the business. I have all these, this, that, and other thing. And I said, wow. So what happens if you can't pay the bill? Who eats it? You personal guarantee those, right? He goes, well, yeah. I said, what if I show you how to daisy chain you and get yourself out of that mess? He goes, why does I have like all together like about $1.5 million where I can get cash credit and build what I want to do. I'm making money to pay the bills. I said, anytime you're working to make money, nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. If you're making $1 million a day, that's beautiful. I said making it. But here's the challenge to you. What happens when you stop making it? Remember, businesses go through cycles. Look what happened when COVID-19 showed up. A lot of you weren't ready for that. But some of you that were internet marketers, you had a head start on a lot of the stuff. Some people were smart enough that, okay, they used a lot of their things they knew about where the work they came from to get things going. That's awesome. But here's what I'm telling you. When the money runs out that you're making, what are you going to do then to go ahead if you need to go ahead and restructure your organization to fit around the COVID-19? Because the money that you were making from that is going to be a little different. What are you going to do? Think about that, folks. This is the reason why I say, even when the COVID-19, team comes in place, you can still get more credit if you have your division set up correctly and you have your main corporation set up correctly. If anything happened, remember what I told you. Debt follows tax ID. Debt follows tax ID. Or let me say it for you guys that understand this one, that don't come from the era where it's tax ID, what we call it. Most people don't know EIN. Okay, debt follows EIN. Debt follows EIN, aka tax ID. All right. So what I want to let you know is that when you start building your business, most people fail trying to start building a business because they're using their own personal credit. You're not going to get very far. Corporate credit will take you way beyond the dreams that you can dream of. We even had a lady that says, "No, I have too much credit. I don't need it." What? What do you mean? You came here crying and begging, "I need credit." Oh my God. Now you don't want it as much as you say? It scares you? And it does scare some people. Hey, when you can get a million, million and a half in about 12 to 18 to 24 months, some people are like, whoa, they back up because it's like, didn't say you have to spend it all. Just think beginning what you want to do, or maybe you want to grow your business. We have some people that own those, what do you call the hot dog stands, the trailers, little trailers. We have one guy, I'm going to ask him if I can interview him. Now he's buying his second one, and guess what he's using? The first one he learned, he used all his personal money on that. 17 grand on the trailer, then the business license, then the generator, and then what else was the generator? And then okay, then the food initially had to pay for that because he didn't have any vendor credit. So now he got, with the vendors and the hot dog bun people, the hot dogs and the other little things they have going on, the sodas, the chips. Now they're all on the 30-day net. And I said, now you're understanding what Walmart does. They get everything, hot dogs, everything at the store. And now he has the scores. He's been doing it for now a little over about 16 months now. And that's how fast. And I tell you, got to be diligent on this. You got to be like, like a fly on, what. So I said, you're really going to have to go ahead and do, and they him and his girlfriend and I think his fiance, they both were just right on. Okay, great. They got this done. They got this done. They got this done. I mean, like I'm telling you, they did a great job. They're hungry because he wants to get 5 trucks. Now, when he gets his other truck, all right, that's going to report on his Dun and Brad. His score is good enough because to apply for that. So that's what he's going to do here. And then he's now he always credit with the vendor. Now, guess what? Is that truck going to keep the same tax ID, or is he going to start another little business? Think about this for a minute. Why I'm going to say this. Why would you want to taint your first business? Because now you're going to have a second business, which is still a truck. You can use the same name. Let's say it's called Hot Dogs R Us. Hot Dogs R Us. Now he's going to have Hot Dogs R Us 1 with a new tax ID and a DUNS number. Now, most people don't know this. And YouTube people, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, I don't know what else they have out there. Pinecrest, whatever. Listen to this. His first one is going to co-sign for the second one because they have a history on them. And even though it has a tax ID and a different tax ID, a different DUNS number. And this is where you learn, or eventually how you can go ahead and use a different address that happens to belong to a P.O. box, not a United States Post Office box, but to a mom and pop or even a United Postal Service, the brown truck people. Okay. You're going to learn how to get that. You're going to get around that. Yes, you heard it. You heard it, Q. You heard it. All right. Now he's going to go ahead and co-sign, which means now they'll go ahead and give the credit to the new one because they co-sign for it. They'll get those scores because guess why? They have the vendor, they have the credit cards, they have the hot dog place, the buns, the soda place, the chips, the condiments, the napkins, soda cups. Think about that, folks. Or the generator they have to get. All that's going to be on corporate credit because of cosign by the parent DBA. All right, by the parent DBA, the way they did it, because they used an LLC and they did a DBA. Then they got the first truck and they spent cash on that. No one showed him how to build the money on the LLC. So now he's going to do his second truck. Called this Hot Dogs R Us 1. And then it get great. Once it happens, he'll have 2. Then he's going to go 3. So he wants to get another truck in 6 months after he gets this finished, finalizes getting this second one. So that gives him a total of 3, probably before the end of the middle of next year. So I just want to let you know there's more than one way to go ahead and develop things. You don't have to. You're going to learn the power of co-signing by a company that has corporate credit inside your business. That's the most powerful thing, folks. To go ahead and co-sign. Folks, I'm telling you, I don't know. I have no idea why a lot of you worry. Why do you worry about certain things? This is craziness. You got to stop worrying about. I used to tell people, stop worrying about who you're not. Oh, I wish I had this money. I'm not this. Man, all of you are champs. Out there, all of you are champs. Stop worrying about who you're not and start being happy of who you are. You're unique. Even if you don't understand how to build corporate credit, business credit, however you want to call it, we will be glad to show you. We're going to be your coach. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a blast because I have fun, especially you're putting it together, structuring it, doing this. Folks, I'm telling you, I promise you this, it is awesome. Here's the one thing we can promise. People always say, anyone tells you in corporate credit, they're going to give you a 100% guarantee. I'm going to tell you they're lying. Let me tell you why I say they're lying. And they say no questions asked. There's nothing wrong with that statement. But what I mean is this. Now, we can also give you a 100% guarantee if we do the work. If we do the work, and you're going to have to sign a power of attorney to allow us to do some of the work. And the cost is inexpensive compared to what you'll get. Let me tell you what I mean by that. I remember I told you a price. I told you a big, large price. Those of you in the beginning, I said it. But I'm going to tell you this. That amount of money that I told you times 10, if you got $2.5 million, this is the only place you can get that kind of money in return as you keep building. You put $5,000 in. What's 10 times 5? 5 grand. Yeah. What's 10 times 5 grand? Think about that. What's 10 times 3 grand? Think about that. We have people in this room tonight that also have got more than their money on it. They're over at a little over 10 grand or about close to 10 grand. Already, they tripled their money. No, they doubled their, I think tripled their money almost. Think about that, folks. This is the only place that you can really guarantee yourself a return if you do the work and follow the program. Cool. That's why there's no guarantee. I can't guarantee what you're going to do out there. I can't guarantee if you're going to follow through. Put it for me. Let's say someone want to do it. They have a business. They want to do 3 DBAs and a tax ID number, and also checking account, and also let's say a website. Another website, the domain name, and Dun and Brad, the listing, and also getting the 800 phone number. That can be all done in 4 hours. But no one wants to dedicate themselves to the 4 hours to get it done because they let life get in the way. You could do that 4 hours, which means you could do a lot of this at nighttime. Before I used to do a lot of stuff when I did it. That's the best time we would do it. At 9 o'clock, phones went off, and from 9 to 11:45, 11:45 on East Coast time. The reason why we do 11:45 East Coast time, that is when the IRS updates they cut you off about 5 till midnight, and then for about an hour and a half, they're updating all their files every night, even on the weekends. So we had to stop. So we get the tax ID first. Dun and Brad 24/7, upload the documents we need. Get the 411, boom, boom, boom. Go online, open 24/7. And if you had any situation, you can call them in the morning, but it's already at least paid for, ready to go. Listing can do 24/7. Folks, it's not that hard. Bada boom, bada bang. Had the checking account open, and guess what? The next day, we're on the phone getting the first credit card form right off the bat. Folks, it's not that hard. It's easy. But people make it hard because they say, I don't understand. Do you think I understood when I got started? No, I've been doing this since 1985. All right. And I'm still learning. I have not stopped learning. The day I stop learning is the day I die, because I die because I can't provide you guys with all current stuff. And here's the beauty: all the other experience that I have, a lot of it is still applicable today, like the visions, even in the real estate. People understand how divisions work. And why do I say the next hot dog truck, that guy, you want another separate tax ID, another separate DUNS number in case something happened? Debt follows tax ID. Each truck will have its own. And then at the end of the year, it's not a whole lot, because then they can do a compiled tax return. A lot of you don't even know this and how to do this thing. I have another screen to go to, but I'm going to tell you this. The next screen I'm going to go to is this: business credit secrets revealed. Well, there's no secrets really, other than you've got to figure out, how is it Bill Gates, Donald Trump, all these big Amazon, Apple, Sam's, think of any other card, Costco, Staples, think about the companies, think about restaurants. Folks, what I want to let you know is, what is it that they do that they don't tell you? See, what I want to tell you about what I was going to say is that what the reason why those are able to co-sign and then get the other truck and keep separate them, they can do a compiled tax return. So you have 6 trucks with six different tax IDs. So what? They all have their credit. They all have their credit, and they keep building it. So let me tell you, if truck 1 has $1 million in corporate credit, guess what truck 2 is going to have? And truck 3 and truck 4, how much money do you have now? 4 million. You have 3 trucks that can go ahead, which means 3 companies, because they're divisions, that can go ahead and get and guarantee another, if they want to do a bigger thing. Let's say they want to buy now a Roach Coach, well, which is a food truck, okay? A big one that actually has, that you drive, not a trailer, like to do with a hot dog stand. You have 3 of those to do that. And each one of them will have an approval from, guess what? Fleet approval for certain items. Those of you who are truckers, think about that. Each truck you should have. Truckers, each truck you should have. Truckers, listen to this. Each truck that you have should have a different tax ID number, so each one builds off each other. So if anyone gets in trouble, you're not going to lose all 3. You only lose 1. Folks, you got to begin to go ahead and rub my bald head if you have to. I don't know what it is. It's so much fun. This is awesome. Just think, 1 truck, you get a card for, let's say $6,000. Brand new company, $6,000. If you do unincorporated, then you get a next one and you say, hey, look, I want to get a truck for that, card for that, and then a card for that, and a card for that. You have 4 times 6 is what? Can anyone please tell me the number out there? Put it in the chat box. 6 times 4 is what? It's $24,000 you have in gas money, and that gas money will make you money, folks. And then if you want, then you start building, so you buy your own tractor or lease your own tractor, your own trailer, your own reefer, whatever you're in, a low boy, whatever you're in, heavy tow, or a hot shot runs. Buy that truck for hot shot runs. Or you get yourself a truck that the FedEx wants you to go ahead, a specific truck and the size and all of what they're looking for. Go get yourself a FedEx truck. A truck that then you put the FedEx sign on the FedEx truck. Folks, there's no reason why you need to be broke anymore. Guess what? Like I said, a lot of you rather worry over something that's never going to happen anyways. And then when it doesn't happen, you paid interest on the worry on what happened. You end up with all these wrinkles, and you have these people that pay all this money to get this beauty cream to get rid of wrinkles. If you just stop worrying, the wrinkles disappear. You don't even have to pay for it. But you stop worrying about who you're not and what you don't have, and start being happy of what and where you are. And remember, you're unique. Corporate credit will define the way you want to live your life. We really at corporatecreditblueprints.com want to go ahead and repackage your whole life. Now you might say, hey, sounds intense. He sounds, no, folks. What that is, I'm just excited. I really do. I love this business. You kidding? There's nothing that you cannot accomplish in this. All right. I'm going to stop right here because the time's kind of up. My guy's telling me, hey. All right. But I want to let you know is this. There's so many things you can do if you learn how to structure it right. Why are Google all this stuff? You might even find me. There might find one gentleman which we used to work together years ago, but now I don't. I'm not sure if he's still around, but if he is, he's about the only one that knows about what I'm talking about. You don't hear any of these other guys talk about it. They're always talking about getting these. You have these. I know I shouldn't say secrets, but I do. Business credit secrets revealed. But I did tell you about the visions, how you can actually do secret. You didn't realize you can do that. That's what the big boys do. We've done it all the time. I've had the pleasure back in '85 to find out some things that still work to this day, that they do to this day. Because remember in the lessons I taught you earlier, not here, but about the structure, how the United States structured the corporation. It's structured for you, but they never told you about it because they don't really care if you know. Do you think they care about you? Here's your second stimulus. You want a third stimulus? You want a fourth stimulus? That's on you. This stimulus they gave you is they're raping you to make you weak, to count on them, count on you. You can set up a corporation or you can set up an unincorporated. It costs you 35 or 45 bucks to set it up. And then we go from there and we'll coach on that. And then there's many things that you can do. You don't have to be stuck, folks. You can still have your dream. You can still have your dream. You can still have your dream. And like I said, if I'm back up a minute, you can go ahead and call us at 614-349-8242. And also you can go ahead to info@corporatecreditblueprints.com, info@corporatecreditblueprints.com, or you can go to www.corporatecreditblueprints.com, log in, just scroll down, look at the page, and schedule a free consultation. I'm going to tell you here, we don't sell you anything. I'll just ask you, what do you want to do? You want this? I said there's one program out there that we have out there that's good till there's a code on it, and that's when it's good till. But I tell you, it's going to be good until the end of the year, I believe, if I said that, or Christmas. I'll know by the code you have. If you don't have the code, you're not going to get the discount on that part. The affiliate program, since if you have the code, there's a special price on it that people got. One of the things I want to let you know is this: at Corporate Credit Blueprints, we're here to make sure you can fulfill your dreams. But one of the things is you've got to grab the horns and say, look it, I'm scared. I've been around. I've been burnt, whatever it is. And I understand being burnt, but we're real life people. As you can see, you heard the dogs barking in the background. That's why I have dogs. Well, actually the wife has dogs. So anyways, but one of the things I want to let you know is that for you that are nervous or say, oh, this sounds too good to be true. Okay, good. Then you're right. You be right and let the next person move in. Because here's the thing. Some people like to be right and miserable. Some people love to be wrong and happy, which means this. I've had some companies, and there's some big companies out there that are doing some good, that were doing that they have some good product, I guess, because I've never dealt with them. Before I used to go when the live seminars were able to do live, I did a lot of live seminars. I love doing the live seminars because a lot of stuff I do there that I won't do on here because I can't. The thing is, when we worked with them on the live seminar, folks, everybody in the seminar got credit. And we did it during the week, not on a weekend. So we can call Dun & Brad, so we can call the lenders on the spot. 30 people on the spot will get credit in that room. And I'm telling you, folks, this is really exciting. But don't cheat yourself out of life. Some of you, I know you've fallen down, you've been burnt. Some of you know your COVID got a hold of you, which means not in the sickness, but they got a hold of your business. How about restoring your life again, restoring your dreams? Spend 6 months, invest in it. You'll have 10 times what you put into this. Those who want to go to the hand holding program, let me tell you, that's why you can get a guarantee, because we do all the work. You sign a power of attorney so we can do some things and get things done for you. Boom. But those of you that don't have that kind of money to do that, don't want to, that you're going to have, here's one thing. I'd rather have you learn to do this. So when a storm comes, you know what to do and get coached through it. Hey, you remember what you did over here? Oh yeah. And then you'll always be able to go back. I just want to say, folks, thanks for being here. Those of you, again, whatever you can do for a child, $35, go to the place to buy someone or go to your local church or something. Hey, look, I want to get, maybe a 8-9-year-old, or baby girls or little girls that need toys, boys that need toys, or maybe some teenagers that might need some learning stuff for school or backpacks or cool stuff, to let them know that the world does care about them, and that they're still loved by the Lord and everything else like that. Just want to let you know, folks, that it's important. And just remember this: what I've said in some of my seminars is this, and also on the webinars: no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and no foul word spoken against you shall prevail. Remember that. You've got to remember those things, folks. I want to say good night. I love you, and we'll see you Sunday. And during the week, I might have a special webinar for some special things. I'm going to do something that I've never done. My tech guy says it should. I said, okay, great. It's so give back to you. So if you catch those, it will be live on YouTube, then it'll be live on Facebook and the other Facebook, and then LinkedIn as well. So I just want to say good night to you, folks, and those the rest that are in the room. Stay in the room because I'm going to stop recording because I'm going to go over some things with you as well. So I just want to say, folks, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Most of all, I want to say to you is this: at Corporate Credit Blueprints, we love you and we'll see you later. And may you be blessed with abundance.